This episode of WWE Monday Night Raw kicked off with the Judgment Day. And the Judgment Day looking strong, kicking off Raw once again. Just talking about how things need to get patched up within the Judgment Day. Then Priest starts shaming on Balor, not gonna lie. Calling out Balor for not being out there with the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley again having to stop Priest from potentially burying and turning on Finn. Then we see come out J.D. McDonough. Now, I know this man was pretty good in NXT UK, I believe, and the Cruiserweight division. I believe he's a former Cruiserweight champion under the name Jordan Devlin. But J.D. McDonough comes out. He has a mic. Priest says they don't need him right now. He knows he has something to talk about, but he doesn't need him. And then McDonough says, with all due respect, a lot of times, and says, just starts building up the Judgment Day and how they're one of the best factions in WWE. J.D. McDonough delivers the message from Finn that they should keep their eyes on Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes, the main targets. J.D. McDonough then continues to say he has a lot of respect for the Judgment Day. But Priest again in the whole Judgment Day just turning J.D. McDonough around and saying, get out of here. And McDonough is like, Dominic gets to talk and he gets booed out of the building. Again, it's nothing different about Dom as he gets booed out of the building by the whole audience. Pretty good crowd, I'd say, for this Monday Night Raw. So Dominic continues to get booed. McDonough then is saying that's all he needed to do and starts to leave. But then, just out of midair, here comes Sami Zayn. Zayn coming out with a patched up elbow, as we saw last week on Raw. Zayn had a pretty broken down elbow, which is actually pretty nasty, not gonna lie. But Zayn comes out and he starts the brawl. The brawl with J.D. McDonough. McDonough, the one that injured Zayn and cost him in that six-man tag in the main event of last week's show. They start brawling. J.D. gets the upper hand in the fight. Then we see these two in the ring, Zayn and McDonough. And you know what? This is actually the first J.D. McDonough match I've watched. I believe the full match of a J.D. McDonough match. And this dude is the real deal. He's really good in the ring. I see why WWE are giving him a lot of TV time just when he's called up to the main roster. This guy is good in the ring. Well, yeah, he's pretty good in the ring. I mean, he does some things that I haven't seen a guy like him can do. But we see actually pretty good match, I'm not going to lie. But look at this next spot, as you can see. McDonough, you cannot tell me that doesn't hurt. McDonough's literally standing on Zayn's head. Come on, jeez. So McDonough just, again, torturing the arm of Zayn. Looked painful after finding out that Zayn had that huge spot on his elbow. But Zayn just kept battling through this match. It was a really good match to kick off Raw. We just see that more attacks on the elbow this whole entire match from J.D. McDonough. And I don't know, McDonough, it was just a really good wrestling match for both these men. But we do see Sami Zayn taking the W. And after the match, Balor comes out and starts attacking Zayn. And then we get the announcement about that main event between Finn and Cody. We'll get into that later. But we see Chelsea Green backstage talking about Chelsea's Got Talent, the show she's going to run to get her next tag team partner. Then we see Kaden Carter and her partner coming out and challenging Chelsea Green and her partner for the tag titles. Then we see the big thing. Doudrop is back, and she takes out Kaden Carter and her partner. I still don't know what her name is, but I'm sorry, Piper Niven. I still keep calling her Doudrop. She kicks out Chelsea Green and says she's her partner. I could see this team working out really well and getting over with the crowd. I like this team already. I think it's gonna work. Then we see Cody Rhodes in an interview backstage. He actually starts building up the Judgment Day like any babyface would really do. They're still trying to keep Cody Rhodes as the top of the babyface division part of WWE, so I don't know, pretty generic promo. Then we see Gunther, the Ring General. So Gunther again standing on that table, still don't know. I don't really understand why he's doing it. I think I kind of like it though. Like, he has some power at that table, taller than anybody else. I mean, that's Gunther right there. So Gunther just starts shaming on the crowd, the generic bad guy promo. Then we see Alpha Academy led by Chad Gable gets a pop, and he comes out and says that people are building up Gable, that he could be the one. He is the one to beat Gunther. And then he says, I actually like Chad Gable now. I mean, really didn't really understand his character in this past year so far. Until now, Chad Gable's starting to become the leader of the Alpha Academy that we know he can become and start getting some TV time. We see Ludwig Kaiser get in the ring, start talking to Maxine like he's done the past 2 weeks, and saying she doesn't deserve to be with an ugly and bad team like Alpha Academy. She deserves to be with Imperium. And then a slap again by Maxine, getting Ludwig Kaiser what he deserves. And then Ludwig Kaiser turns around. It's Chad Gable saying, "Oh, thank you," his catchphrase that is kind of overused. But then we see the match: Giovanni Vinci versus Chad Gable. This match was, it was like a generic match between these two. I've said generic a lot in this episode of this YouTube channel, but it's kind of like that. As you'll see in Dropkick WWE, my opinion on WWE matches that I don't really care about are going to be generic. So, yeah, this match, nothing too special. It's what you'd expect from Giovanni Vinci Chad Gable match, but there's one take I have to say about this match, and that's Giovanni Vinci is very underrated in the ring. I think he's actually one of the better Imperium, I don't know, all of Imperium's really good, to be honest, but he's one of the better, most underrated stars on Raw. I mean that sincerely. He is an underrated wrestler. So, we also see Chad Gable win with that superplex or whatever it's called. I don't even know anymore. But Gable takes the win, and that's the right call there. Then we see another match, Gunther versus Otis. And yeah, you know how I feel about this one. It's pretty much the same thing, actually. In the Vinci match with Chad Gable, that was two really good in the ring wrestlers. I'm just not a fan of Otis, I mean, unless they build him to have an actual an actual strong man, like a worthy opponent character, then I don't take him seriously. Gunther takes the win here, but I don't know. I'm never interested in these Otis matches. He's just not. It doesn't do it for me. So, yeah, we see Gunther with a huge power bomb to win this match. Really impressed with that spot. Just shows you how good the Ring General is. Sorry, that was embarrassing. In wrestling, the Ring General is a dominant superstar and deserves to be at the top. But then after the match, we see Chad Gable giving the Ring General a suplex, and Gunther retreats. And Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy standing tall in this whole segment, hour long, I don't even know, probably not an hour long, 45-minute probably segment. Then we see Finn Balor and Priest again starting an argument that Rhea Ripley has to interrupt. And then we see JD back. McDonough and Priest still doesn't appreciate McDonough. And Finn is the only one in the Judgment Day that seems to like JD. So, more problems in the Judgment Day in this segment, but it seems like they got things patched up in the future, as we'll talk about the main event later. And then we see the Viking Raiders, as earlier in the show, Riddle and brought Drew McIntyre into this tag team match, but Drew seemed to be hesitant, which I find that a little weird, because before his match against Gunther, he was all about teaming with Riddle. Now he's a little hesitant. I don't know, maybe that's building up to a heel turn that I would love to see a heel Drew McIntyre once again. Thought he was really good with that Dolph Ziggler one. But let's talk about the match. I don't really know. I mean, the Viking Raiders are really athletic for their size, but they just need another character change probably because they always lose. I mean, you can't have a team look strong unless they actually win some matches, but Drew hits a Claymore for the win, and Riddle and Drew celebrate. But I am intrigued to see if Drew will ever turn on Riddle. As we saw, they could be a tag team in the future. Then we see Indy Hartwell at the NXT call up to the main roster, take on Mommy Rhea Ripley. And this match was pretty short. Nothing special, just another Rhea Ripley dominant win. I mean, she always does dominate. And in this match, we saw it. Rhea Ripley continuing her success, nothing special, as she takes the win in a squash. I don't even know what they're doing with Indy Hartwell at this point. She's just... Is that her debut match? I think it was. But after the match, we see Candice LeRae attacking Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley getting the upper hand, but Indy Hartwell attacks Rhea 2-on-1. And Candice LeRae standing tall. Is this a push for Candice? Maybe a payback match? Actually, no. Raquel is probably going to come back. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future weeks. We see Nakamura, Michael Cole interviewing Shinsuke. Shinsuke speaking the whole promo in Japanese. The one time the what chance actually makes sense is this promo. Is Nakamura. I don't know. I really like heel Nakamura for some reason. I mean, it does the trick for me and most people, I think. So then Seth Rollins interrupts Nakamura. We see Rollins doing his dance. All of his attires get me dying laughing. But we see the promo battle between these two. I guess not really a promo battle because Shinsuke's speaking Japanese most of the time. Seth says, if you wanted a title shot, then you could have just asked. If you wanted the World Heavyweight title, just ask. And Seth Rollins says, if you want the match between me and you, shake my hand. And they do. Nakamura then leans over and whispers something to Seth Rollins. I find that really weird. Because after the fact, Seth's face just turns into some... I don't even know. But did he whisper like a stipulation for that match? We don't know when this match is going to happen, but it will. Nakamura then attacks and lays out Seth Rollins. So, Nakamura, again, having the number of Rollins, as Michael Cole said. Then we see the man, Becky Lynch, coming out and getting ready for her, her big match with quotation marks. Huge match against Trish Stratus. That everybody's excited for, definitely. No. Alright, so let's get into the match. Obviously, you're going to know my opinion on this one. You're going to already probably guess it. This match was horrible. The epitome of horrible. I just want this rivalry to end. I thought before this match, it's a match. I'm excited to see Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, two great women wrestlers in their times. But this was annoying. This was awful. Like, you couldn't have had a worse ending. You could have just had Becky win and finish the rivalry. But we have all these things, and then we see a double countout. A double countout. I don't care what you say that they brawled in the back and it was so cool. I don't care. A double countout never does the job. So they start attacking each other back into the fans, and we see Zoe Stark interfere. And then, the same thing has happened with, again, Zoe Stark and Trish standing tall. When is this rivalry going to end? But we get the main event here. Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor. Finally, a not six-man tag to end the show. Finally, something new. I mean, Balor and Rhodes looking like they're going to get a match at Payback, maybe. I don't know what the payoff's going to be. But these two did a good job in the ring. I mean, two great wrestlers going at it. I mean, I think this is the new thing we needed with Balor and a different opponent, because we've been seeing him feud with Seth Rollins like for about 3 months now. So finally something new. Not 3 months. I'm just being sarcastic, but like it kind of feels like 3 months. So we see Dom interfere, and then we get the Judgment Day interference that happens in almost all of Finn Balor's matches. Balor's just, he's a good wrestler in the ring. I mean, I'm not taking away from this match. I mean, these two are some of the best wrestlers WWE has to offer on the main roster. So I like the match. Priest interferes. He tries to slide the briefcase to Finn Balor, as we'll see later. But Judgment Day again interfering, which just, I don't know, where was Sami Zayn in this? That's my question. But still, we see Damian Priest try to slide the briefcase to Balor, but he slides it to Rhodes instead, using the briefcase for the 1, 2, 3 after this crossroads. And we're seeing the same stuff. Priest costing Balor matches. I mean, it's building up to something. Finn attacking Damian, or Damian attacking Finn. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments. But we see Judgment Day on the attack. Sami Zayn shows up out of nowhere, which he should have showed up about 30 minutes ago when Cody Rhodes, his friend, was getting quadruple teamed. But Sami Zayn again gets stopped in his tracks by, guess who? J.D. McDonough. Now, then we see the whole attack. The Judgment Day at their best. At their peak here, a pack of wolves, said by Michael Cole. They send Zayn through the table, and we see a dominant Judgment Day stand. How did you like this episode? What do you think in the comments below? Let me know. I'm Dropkick. See you later.